Hey everybody, it's Yo Taylor back here at the Style Table on My Style Mondays. I am here with the lovely and fabulous Dr. Carrie Haley. She is a executive leadership and development coach and fashionista, as you can see. A lover of art, and definitely a sister friend. She's someone who is a champion for women, and she's always there to support. And we are so blessed to have her on our show this week. It's Women's History Month. And so I'm showcasing women. I always showcase women, but I love women, and I love women, especially ones who are champions for other women. So, Dr. Carrie, welcome to the show.
I just want to say thank you so much, Yolanda Taylor, for being a fabulous strategist, wardrobe strategist, but also just having the energy that you have to showcase other people while you're very humble. This is a great opportunity, and I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing what you do because we need more trailblazers like you in the world.
Thank you so much for that. That's so awesome. See, she just, she made me feel like $1,000,000 just that fast. We can do that to each other, and we need to do that more and keep doing it. Now, Dr. Carey, you are an executive leadership and development coach, but I
Yeah.
know you do much, much more. Can you tell me all the things that you do? I mean, I know we only have a short time, but I know you do a lot. But I'd like
Uh,
you to tell us some of the things that you do, so because you help a lot of people.
Well, thank you for that. I would say, first and foremost, I'm just grateful to be a Christian.
Ooh,
I'm unapologetic about being a Christian. God is the head of my life. And so through him, all things have been made possible. So I would be remiss if I didn't say that I do my God thing all the time. The other things that I do is through my passion for my fellow human, I do a lot of community service. I love doing Feed the Homeless. That's a passion of mine. And that stems from my childhood of seeing someone else who was passionate about making sure that my large family actually ate at the end of the month when we didn't have food necessarily in our house. So shout outs to Mr. Grant Cushenberry, rest in peace. And then I advocate for women. I am a member of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated, the Northern Virginia chapter. And I spend a lot of energy there working through everything from educational platforms to educating individuals about health in the community, advocating on their behalf, whether the legislation is in Richmond or if it's on Capitol Hill. That's a passion of mine. I also have done a lot of work with the Fairfax County Health Department. Recently, I was actually received some recognition for doing that work, and I didn't do it for the recognition. I did it because I care about my fellow humans. And so, our huge campaign during COVID and for mental health in the Black community, that was something that I did a lot of work in. The other thing is, I plant my flag in my family, taking care of them, but also just having that connectivity on a regular basis to make sure that we're all good. Because at the end of the day, if all things other go away, my family is going to be there and I'm going to be there for them. So those are some of the things that I do. And and I am a huge proponent of all kind of crafty work. I love craftsmanship. I do all kind of boxes, wooden boxes. I fix things. I go out and find furniture in the community that nobody wants. I turn it into something beautiful. A lot of it I give away because that's a huge stress reliever for me. And I believe that in order for us to show up authentically on a daily basis as our best version of ourselves, that we have to find ways to relieve stress. And through relieving my stress is another way for me to give back. So those are just a couple of things, along with exercising. Shopping definitely is on my list. I don't
Yes.
necessarily call it retail therapy. I call it finding ways to show my inner or showcase my inner love for fashion on the outside. So when I go shopping, I shop endlessly about things that really tell the story of Carrie inside. So I have an Afrocentric bohemian vibe. I'm very eclectic. I love artsy things, anything ornate that stands out, not for standing out for somebody else, but stands out for me and
Yes.
has a boldness to it. It creates a boldness of my inner expression. It says, this is who I really am. And so, love me or leave me, but this is who I am.
I love that. I love that because I find like I'm not a painter, I'm not a musician, but I find my creativity through style and through clothes. And so that's where I allow myself, or not allow myself, it's just natural for me to showcase my artistic talents that way. And for
Mhm.
me, when I see a woman, she's like a blank canvas.
Yes,
And I get to
yes,
decorate her and help her um, see her clothes as her cloak of happiness, I like to call it. Because
yes,
you can see someone come alive. Sometimes we forget ourselves because not everybody um, is at the same place, at the place that, like right now, as you're describing, that you are. We sometimes we get there, and sometimes we have setbacks that where we forget ourselves, and we have to get back
yes,
to that place. You know,
yes.
so yeah, I think that's everything you just said is just so. It's just so wonderful and so peaceful and so inspiring. Um, how much you do for others and then sharing your gifts and talents and finding something wonderful in taking something that's old and left behind and giving it new life. I think that's wonderful. Seriously, I
You,
do.
you know, thank you. I was just thinking about one of the things that I love. There's a Japanese art called kintsugi, and it's really when something is broken, if there's a bowl that's broken or a plate that's broken, they take like this gold dust and they fix it and they bind it back together, and it's actually stronger when they do the technique, right? And then it adds a different flair of beauty to the item, because to see the gold running through the piece, and it's a caricature, it's a reference of something that tells a story. And I love that art. I actually did a painting of a face that's representative of me, but it was fractured. And so to fill it in with these crystals and this dust, it says that I'm stronger now, that I've gone through the things that have broke me into pieces. And that just created a whole different energy in me that I can express. And I know that it wasn't for me. The breaking wasn't all for me. It was to tell my testimony and story to somebody else who may be going through something, like you said, at this moment in life, that maybe they don't feel their best, but they have a story. And if I share my story, maybe they'll share their story, and it'll help them get through what they're going through.
Right, right. And sometimes when we are going through these journeys,
Mhm.
um, sometimes you have to go through these journeys alone and
Mhm.
take and you know just pull into yourself and let everything else and all the noise and everybody else um, fall away for a time because
Yes.
sometimes on your journey of healing and feeling better about yourself and achieving the things that you want, you are a leadership and development coach. This is all a part of succeeding in your careers and your businesses and your
Mhm.
life is healing and putting yourself together. And
Absolutely.
sometimes people can't, everybody can't be on, walk that path with you. Sometimes you have to walk that path alone to really understand what's going on within you. And
Oh,
I believe that. I know that's what I've had to, you
yeah.
know.
Oh, I 100% agree. And sometimes others will judge you along that path because that journey, because they don't know what's going on. And sometimes just being silent, you don't need to tell everybody all your business. Sometimes just staying silent and just staying focused on yourself. When you learn to center yourself and anchor yourself in whatever's going on and let all the other stuff fall away, that's where you find the peace, that's where you find the strength to move to the next level, because sometimes we have to sit in silence and just stop the noise so that we can really hear our inner thoughts. For me, my inner thoughts is it's really my connectivity with my spirituality through Christ. And so sometimes when I'm too busy running around doing all kind of things and wondering why something maybe not falling into place as quickly as I would like it to, I
Mhm.
have to sit back and say, maybe it's because you can't hear. And so sit yourself down so that you can hear. And I think that that really is what coaching helps you do. In my business, it's Revelation of Investment Coaching, or ROI-coaching.com. What I do is individuals come in, and usually they come in for a business question, or you know, trying to get a strategy to get promoted or something like that. And when everything is stripped away, it's really not that thing that they came in for. It's
Right.
about the underlying values that are not being met that really has gotten a person to a place of being stuck. And so when we are able to work through that, and I say that because a lot of times, especially with women who are found themselves lost in motherhood, or found themselves lost in being the good wife, or in the relationship, or being a prominent person at work, is that they really lose the identity of self in there somewhere and find themselves being unhappy. And because I'm only focusing on the job, my kids, my relationship, I forgot who I am. And therefore, the energy that I'm putting out into the universe is not a happy energy. Well, whatever you're putting out is normally what you're pulling back in. So learning to reframe the energy that you're allowing out, and the things that you're allowing to monopolize your time and not
Mhm.
put yourself as a priority in your own life,
Yeah.
creates that negative energy where you hurt. I often say, unless you are pouring from your saucer, and if you have a teacup and you have a saucer, and you're constantly pouring from your cup and your cup gets empty, you have nothing left for self.
Yeah.
Learn to fill that cup all the way up and let whatever overflows out of that cup into the saucer. That's how you serve other people. Because if you have no energy for self, then you have less energy for someone else. So
Mm.
learning to protect that energy, protect that space, so that you can be the best version of you every time you show up. And you might not be like 100% every single time, but if you can keep that meter somewhere between 85 and 100, you're doing great. But you're a better service to other people because you're not multitasking. Multitasking isn't a skill. People tell me that all the time. Oh, I multitask. I'm a great multitasker. Something suffers when you try to multitask. So carving out enough space, that me time, to take care of self and sit still in whatever's going on so you can see a clearer path forward, is often much more of a blessing to you and the people that you're trying to serve.
That is so perfect, because women, and I know I was always quick to say, I'm a multitasker, I'm a multitasker, until I think when you get to be a certain age, after a while, you realize to sit down and
Yes.
stop multitasking and delegate, and sit down and focus on the things that are important right now, which are usually
Yeah.
family, which are your self care.
Mhm.
And it's okay to be selfish. Let other people judge you. If you can't do everything, you're not going to be able to do everything that everybody wants you to do. And you cannot be all things to everybody. And I am an unapologetic Christian as well. And that's why we have God. God
Yeah.
God is there for everybody, however you worship.
Mhm.
There is a higher power there to help you and guide you. And I know my husband and I do, we've been doing our daily Lenten scriptures together. And one that hit me last night was, and I want to share this. It says, he wants to, well, this isn't a scripture, this is a quote, actually. I'm sorry. He wants to heal you where you feel most broken
Mhm.
and, and empower you for service.
Yes.
I felt that that is from the very Reverend Randolph Marshall
Mhm.
Holler. Um, I really love that. That really just hit me because, you know, there are parts, everybody has some part that's broken that needs that gold
Mm.
mending, right? To stream through
Yes.
to help you be better, and where
Mhm.
you can be empowered to be of service, because really that's what Jesus asked us, at least as a Christian, ask us to be of service to others. And
Yes.
I think when you find a way, not only in taking care of yourself, and it's okay to be selfish, it's all right to be selfish and take care of you and put
Mhm.
yourself first and tell the kids go sit down somewhere, tell the grandkids, take a nap, whatever you have to do. But it's okay to have some me time and take care of yourself, but also know that you will be a better person and feel better when you're of
Yeah.
service to others.
Yes. Yes. It sparks something in you, right?
Yes.
That that it's like a light that glows from the inside out for me. That's how I feel whenever I'm able to be of service to someone else. I wake up intentionally and say that I have to do something, at least one thing, for somebody else today, without them asking. And
Mhm.
oftentimes, the people that a lot of people pass by and see as invisible are the main people that I engage with. If I see someone on the corner, I keep little Ziploc bags of things in the car, water, snacks, and juices and things like that, candies, and then I'll just hand them out because and I try to do it even when they don't ask, right? Or paying somebody else's coffee for somebody else's coffee behind you.
Mhm. Mhm.
You never know who that angel in disguise is
Right.
and who you're going to encounter. And again, I say that most encounters, if they're Christ like, are not because it's for you, it's for you to be of service to someone else. He'll bring the people who need to be of service to you. You'll get that alignment.
Absolutely.
And
I
I
think the energy you put out there is what you get back.
Yes, yes. And I like that you made it clear is that we don't have to worry about being selfish because self care is about me knowing that I'm worth it. I
Yeah,
know that I'm worth it. If I know my own self worth and I know enough to take care of myself, then that's not being selfish, that's being smart. And
and it's
so
also
I
helps
think,
you. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no,
Finish.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna just say quickly, it's when you're taking care of yourself, you're also, it makes you stronger to help other people when you're okay.
Absolutely. And I think that that's, one of since we're in Women's History Month, I think that that's one of the things that women suffer with a lot of times. Even with all the clientele that I've seen, and I've been coaching for years,
Mm.
and I have over 2,000 hours of coaching. And I can tell you that women suffer from that concern the most. Sometimes they think that, I hear in the session, those like imposter syndrome.
Mm.
Everybody else sees me as a good wife. Everybody else sees me as a good mother or a good person in the church or, smart at work. And I feel like it's imposter syndrome because I don't feel like I'm doing my best. And that the mere fact that women still, in this day and age, make less than men,
Hmm.
and I'm going to even go further and say Black women make less than every other category. It
Right.
is difficult to see that there's still that struggle within.
Hmm.
And sometimes I call it, women say, well, I don't know what this feeling is. Sometimes it's just PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And it happens on a regular basis. People think that you have to go to war, you have to be, a police officer to suffer from that, and that's not true. Um, and to me, post-traumatic stress disorder, especially in the Black community, is really persistent stress disorder because it's a constant thing that you're dealing with on a daily basis. So showing up in the workplace and trying to find that seat at the table a lot of times is tough, or it almost seems insurmountable for women in the workplace. That's why I spend a lot of time working with my target audience is women when it comes to coaching, is to help them coach themselves past that feeling of unworthiness or imposter syndrome so the best part of them shines and moves up. Not only brings their chair with them, like Shirley Chisholm says, if you don't have a seat at the table, bring your folding chair, put it up there. You know, I want the seat that was designed for me, the one that I know I'm supposed to sit in. And a lot of times through coaching, women find that space and recognize it, but not only just for themselves, they realize that the reach back is important, just as important as it is for me to sit at the table. I need to reach back and bring someone else just like somebody brought me.
Ooh, that is so good. That is so good because reaching back, when you get to your level where you feel like I'm good, go back, pull somebody else up, make space, make sure that
Mm.
someone that space is made for your fellow sister at that table.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
I love it. I
And
love it.
yeah, you said something earlier that I wanted to go back and chime in on is about, you know, a lot of times when we get to a space, we're like, oh, kind of like, I made it. Well, really, you didn't because the journey continues as long as you breathe air.
Yes.
You also have to realize that you don't often, somebody you brought to one level is not the person who's going to fly to the next level with you. So if you don't learn how to sometimes let go, or what I call it, prune your garden, because your garden should be a lot of beautiful flowers. They don't all have to look the same. It should be some beautiful plants and flowers around you that is going to enrich your soil and help you bloom further. When you start to get choked out by what's in your garden, and it's stealing your energy and stealing your self-worth and snatching your dreams, you have to learn to go in and prune that, cut it off. And sometimes it's hard to leave it behind because, oh, me and her or me and him been rocking since second grade. Well,
Right.
now he's elevated or she's elevated to the point in your life that they no longer can fly to the next level. And if you allow someone to choke you out, then you will stay here and you will never learn to elevate. Find where the soil is rich in your garden and continue to bloom and cut out anything that's choking you.
Yeah, because even that flower that you're talking about, that sometimes you have to even prune that flower out that's not growing with you, ladies. Sometimes it's not that it's necessarily, I mean, even weeds can have flowers, okay?
Yes. Mhm.
But sometimes you have to remove that so you can grow. And maybe once you get to where you need to be or where you want to
Mhm.
be, where you're um where you have fixed all your cracks that you felt like were holding you back, you can go back
Mhm.
to that area, that space, and see if you can
Yeah.
if something else more positive can grow from that. But if you
Yeah.
can't,
Mm-hmm.
you have to let it go. Be happy for that. I mean, be happy and wish that flower well on its next, in its next
Yeah.
garden, you
Yeah.
know, but you have to let it go in order to fly. You can't, I always tell my younger sisters, sometimes you cannot get to the mountaintop
Mm-hmm.
trying to carry everybody on your back. You have to be
Yeah.
nimble and you have to get there first. Once you get there, you
Mm-hmm.
can go back and reach and pull other people up with you
Mm-hmm.
that need help.
Yeah.
But you can't carry everybody else with you,
Yes.
because not
Yeah.
everything that's for you is what God has for you is for you. And what God has for them
Yeah.
is for them. And those
Yeah.
two things may not, you know, be married to each other.
Yeah.
That person's journey on success or happiness may be in a different way, in a different direction to help other people. Then you might have a
Yeah.
whole different group of people that you're supposed to be reaching and focusing on. So God is using
Absolutely.
you in different ways. So that's all.
Yeah.
Woo, let me
That's a word. As they say, that will preach, right? That would preach.
you know what?
Because, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, wisdom. My birthday's coming up, and I'm getting, as I'm getting older, I'm absorbing all the wisdom that I can glean from every part, including from
Oh,
this interview that I'm getting from you. I mean, this is wonderful. This is good stuff on Women's History Month. Oh my goodness.
yes. Yes, I think that another thing that I would like to talk about just quickly, we had talked about business, and um, one of the things when I was starting out ROI coaching, one of the things that was hard for me was to really be able to speak confidently about my business and my business plan and the growth of the business and things like that. And one thing that was so helpful to me, because I do believe that iron sharpens iron, I had started meeting with different women from different industries, but we all had the same mindset. We were trying to get into business and we're trying to grow our business. Some were further along than others, but what I found in that group is every time I met with them, there was a wisdom coin that was dropped. And I started to pick them up and put them into my little purse, my little
Mhm.
change purse, right?
Yeah.
And so I see life as that is that when we have experiences, instead of us carrying around the heavy bag from the experience that's weighing us down and keeping us from the mountaintop, is that we learn to distill it down to a coin sized lesson and put it in our change books, because at some point in life you're going to have something that's similar, and you're going to need something to remind you of how you got through that last thing and that you came out greater on the other side. Pull that coin out of your coin purse and just be like, okay, this is how I got there. And if we learn how to do that, sharpen that iron, sharpening iron, picking up those coins and putting them in our purse, and from our experiences, putting those little coins back into our purse, we become richer and richer along the trail, along the journey of life. The other thing is that you can't do this all by yourself. I haven't done it in the last couple of years because of COVID, which I had a seminar where people would come together, and I bring in business people health, fitness people, and all kind of individuals, people to teach you about doing your taxes better. And then from the mental health aspect, how do I take care of myself? I think it's definitely needed that women need to find more conferences or more like-minded spaces to go in and sharpen your iron and pick up those nuggets, those wisdom coins, and continue to fill up your change purse so that when you need it and you're ready to take your business to the next level, I got something in my bag for that. I'm not carrying a suitcase from all of the trouble that I went through before, but I've got some wisdom coins here that I'm going to pull out and help me get through this. And then I have a network of trusted women that I could call and say, hey, I'm going through this. What's my next thing? Well, that's about your brand. You need to make sure that your brand is well. That's about your operating plan. So if I don't say anything else, is finding space to continue to educate yourself, but also take that money off the table, keep it in your change purse.
And keep it with you so you can grow. Because
Yeah.
it's all about growth. And when you're growing, you can help so many other people. Um,
Yes.
because that's why we're here. We're here to help each other. I always tell women when it comes to, we see each other, and it's so funny because I was a flight attendant for 31 years. So I know two things: clothes and women.
Mm-hmm.
And you sometimes we see each other, and I make it a point to smile at someone because
Mm-hmm.
I went through a divorce. I was a single mother for 14 years as a flight attendant on a flight attendant salary. The struggle was real. You don't know what somebody's going through, and a
Yeah.
smile can make such a difference in somebody's life. That smile, if you can, I always say compliment a woman.
Yeah.
If you see a woman, and my husband's always like, you're always just talking to people, because I have a fear of public speaking, but I'm pushing myself to do that. He said,
Yes.
you're a professional talker. You talk all the He said, you stop strangers. You're always talking to some woman going, oh, I love that. I love what you have on. And and I like to point out something nice or positive about someone,
Mm-hmm.
particularly women, because we absorb everything. We do everything. We take care of
Yeah.
everybody. And 9 times out of 10, we put ourselves last. And just
Yeah.
saying, I love your hair, because
Mm-hmm.
I know the struggle. We know the struggle it takes to just get ourselves together after we've gotten everybody else together to get out of the
Yeah.
house to do what we need to do. And just to appreciate that. If you don't have, if everything that she has on, or you can't find anything, just smile. That might be the only
Yes.
smile or the only positive energy she's gotten all day or all week. You don't know. But be a
Absolutely.
light for somebody else. Compliment, smile, bring something positive, especially if you see a woman look at people say, oh, the angry woman, she's angry. She's not angry, she's just tired. And she's tired of y'all
That
saying
part.
you angry. Why are you angry? Don't ask her if she's angry. She's tired.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know?
You never know what she's going to do that day.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, tell her her nose ring looks good, whatever. Find something positive. you know, give somebody, be the light for somebody else. I am enjoying this interview. This is awesome. These shows here I am doing with you guys are so fulfilling for me. And like you said,
Mm-hmm.
I sit down and I'm speaking with you guys, and it's I get a coin. It's like I get a coin. I'm getting more than I'm sharing.
That's
And
beautiful.
I really, really love doing this. This has been very, very helpful for me. I hope it's helpful for other people who are out here watching me every Monday at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
It is to talk about style, and I call it My Style Mondays, but a part of your style is how you feel on the inside, because you can put on all the high end designers you want, but if
Yeah.
you're broken and sad inside,
Yes.
you still don't look as good as you think you are, because people can see all through your Hermes bag. They can see through all of that. They can see through
Yes.
all of that. You know.
Yes.
So, all right. So, okay. So I love coaches, you guys. I love coaches, as you know. And Dr. Carrie's going to put her information into the chat so you can. As she said, she has had thousands of hours of coaching experience. She can help you through many things. And obviously, she works with you holistically, inside and out, because usually when you're trying to get to that business level or trying to take your organization to another level, it really is what's underneath that needs to be propped up, supported, so you can be your best self. And she's got you covered there as well. So, and Dr. Carey mentioned you have a book. Please tell us about the book.
Okay, so here's my book. It's called Best Investment is Within Oneself. It's a very easy read. You can see it's very thin, but it is a self investment quick tip guide. This is the second edition. You can find it on Amazon.com. Um, but this book has a lot of good information. We talk about mind clutter, decluttering the mind, creativity, your body reflection, um, making great decisions. Then there's career planning, influence, and inherent authority. And then how to think differently about leading. This this is a very quick read. It also has exercises in here for you to do and a lot of great affirmations. I'm huge on affirmations because it is affirming outside of yourself what you already believe or you're feeling internally. So your affirmations daily help you to get through the day. And I really like the meditation in the morning. It's just taking a couple minutes. You don't have to take a long time. Just meditate for a few minutes before you get up to start your day. And one of the things I tell myself on this is going to be a good day. I'm going to do something today. And the three things that I'm grateful for, I always do the three grateful things. I'm grateful for waking up this morning. I'm grateful to have air in my lungs. And I'm grateful to have my own movement. Those simple things to be grateful for on a daily basis help me to really focus back in on what is positive and what is good and what is necessary, as opposed to being worried about everything else that's happening external to the world. I got to focus on me first to get prepared to embark on that day. And I always thank God for another beautiful day that He has kept me, safe from hurt, harm, and danger. And so just learning how to be grateful, learning how to meditate, learning how to affirm yourself, also learning how to declutter and relax the mind so that you can show up better as the best version of yourself is something that we as humans need to learn how to practice on a regular basis.
Boom. We need all of that. We need all of that. And she's going to drop the link into the comments, as well as how you can go to Amazon to buy the book. So
Yes.
that's it for this Monday. Thank you for joining me once again on My Style Mondays every Monday at 7 p.m. This will be streaming live on YouTube and at the Style Table Facebook page. You can also please subscribe to my channel on YouTube, where you can see this interview and many other fabulous women who talk about their businesses, their careers, their organizations, and their style. So see you next week. And guys know where you can find me at thestyletable.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I'm everywhere. See you next time. Bye, you guys.